Hey folks, today I'm going to talk to you about story mapping. My students and I are creating story maps, and in this video I'm going to show you what we're doing and how to post pins to the map with our stories. So a story mapping project is one where I ask students to pick several places, think about a story on those places, through those places, in those places, thread a common theme, idea through those stories, those places. What that means is you could have one story unfolding across several places or several stories contributing to one theme across several places. I'm going to show you my example right now. My example that I wrote, my story mapping, is about my work life and the places that I've worked, with the guiding theme about how my work life allows me to see something in myself. So I drafted this out, and now I'm going to pin it to the map. One bit of advice as you're pinning to these Padlet maps, it's best to start from the bottom. Start with your last idea, and then finish with your first, especially if you want to do this chronologically, because the way the pins come out in Padlet, they're going to eventually look like that. And then you are going to make a new Padlet, and you're going to select the map option. Now give your map option a name. I'm going to call mine Novak's Story Map 2122. Now, a couple of things for setting wise you might want to think about. I would click on the attribution to have your name associated with the map. If you want to have students and classmates comment, you're welcome to do that. If you want to have reactions to things and pins, you're welcome to do that. You could decide, I'm going to filter for profanity, right? Keep it clean. And there we go. Now we also want to pick the map style. Let me see which one I like here. I am going to go with the usual. Okay. So there's my map style, and now we're going to click next and start posting. Today I'm going to show you how to create a map using Padlet, how to post pins with text to those to that Padlet map, and how to add images to those Padlet pins. I'm also going to show you how to use Google Photos and Google Maps to get the more precise locations of where your images were taken. When I click in the upper right-hand corner, I can add a pin by searching for something or by just dragging it, okay? So first one in my story mapping is the place where I used to work called Redwood Catering. So I'm going to search up, now it's called David M. Grant's Caterers, okay? And it's going to bring me right there. It's going to put a pin there. I'm going to change the title of it to the title that I want, okay? And I'm going to go back to my draft of my writing to do that. So here's the title of the pin that I want. And I am going to add the text. Right? Here's the text that I want to put in the pin. Notice it's double spaced here, but when you put it in the pin, it'll appear single spaced. And that's what we want, because that's the way it's going to be published. Okay. There we go. And last thing is I want to include an image. So my images are currently in Google Photos. And I'm going to go over to my Google Photo. And I'm going to get that image by downloading it. And you can get your image however you get it. You don't have to use Google Photos, right? I'm going to download that image to my desktop. There it is. And now when I click, I want to put it to my desktop so it's nice and easy to find. I'm going to click this three-dot menu, and here's all my options here. No, upload. Okay, I'll click upload. That seems to make most sense to me. And I'm going to go to my desktop, find that image that I just put there, and it's called 2786. Boom, open. And now it's going to cook a little bit, And there. I mean, that's the very least what we need to do for our project this week, right? And I'm gonna just click, I have to click publish finally, right? And there it is. And I'm gonna zoom in, make sure that it's where it needs to be. There it is, right along the Housatonic River there. There it is, good old Redwood Catering. There it is, wonderful. Let's go to the Fairfield pin. I am going to find my image from one of my other images. Here we go, check this out. So check this out, watch this. I'm gonna click the pin. And you see this is Fairfield Ward High School. And notice how the pin is right there where I took that image. That's because it has this GPS information. This could be helpful to you to really get your pin exactly where you took the image, if that's useful to you. So otherwise, right, when I go over to the Padlet and I add the pin, I can search for Fairfield Ward High School, right? And just for sake of publish, I'm going to publish it and see where it takes us. Notice how the pin's over here, not right on the street like it is. So maybe what I would want to do for this one, I'm going to delete this pin now. I'm going to do it a different way. I'm going to do the pin and I'm going to drag it and put it right where I took the picture, right? And it's going to give it this name, but again, I'm going to rename it. So I'm going to go back to my draft. So I'm going to grab that. I'm going to bring it back to my Padlet. I'm going to retitle the name, right? I'm going to copy the text of my pin here. Okay, I'm going to again get the image. To get the image, go to Google Photos, download it, bring it over to my desktop. 2716, gotta remember that, that'll be helpful. I'm gonna go to Upload 2716, there it is, open. And here we go. Now I have 2 pins on my story map. And I'm going to add, I got 4 more to add, but look at this. You know, my story map has 2 pins about 2 places that are important to me. And that's how we add pins to a Padlet map. So you want to make sure that your map is able to be seen with anybody with a link, right? So to do that, we need to make sure that we change the privacy a little bit. I would recommend you keep it secret, but if you choose it to share it with someone, they'll have access, right? So we click that one and they could read it and save. And then we'll go back and now we can get the link. Copy the link, and now we have the link available. So once you've pinned all of your pins to the map with all the text and all the images, you can, first of all, I just want to remind you, you can make all sorts of fun additions, like you could change the colors, right, of these places. But now when you're ready to read them, or you want to actually, a couple of things you could do. You could actually record a video that takes you from one place to the next. A thing to note about this is sometimes if it doesn't, when you click on it, it doesn't appear, you might have to just scroll back in the map so you can see it better, right? So this is my story map, and I do hope that you find it interesting. Thanks for tuning in. Have a good one.